I'm gonna like open up my questions and everything. Okay, if you watched AHLE'S video, this is kind of the same thing, just it's like take 3, my version edited, and yeah, so cool. First things first, how we met. I posted like this, it's a little kind of depressing video about a friend, and AHLE commented, just like supportive, like I hope whatever you're going through is okay. And then she's like, well, if you're ever in this area, blah blah blah. And I was like, actually I'm gonna be in that area like next week.
I was like, perfect, that's great.
And then so we met up, and that's why we're collabing now.
So we met this morning, and now here we are.
And now I'm staying the night with her, so hey, party hardy. Question time. These were questions from friends and just friends. I didn't ask anyone. Is weather a problem?
I wouldn't say it's like a problem, because I tend to avoid like pretty crazy heat, or like when it's really really cold.
But how do you deal with that? Like,
I have like a 0-degree sleeping bag that's like amazing.
That's what I have.
And then I also have like a down blanket, and then I have a down jacket. So usually like I'll sleep with like 4 to 5 pairs of socks on if it's like really cold. Usually if it's cold, I just like bundle up and I have the blanket.
Always,
or the
like,
sleeping bag.
don't be cheap when you're buying a sleeping bag
Or a jacket. Invest.
Those are things that like you want to spend a pretty penny for,
because they're worth it. You will definitely get your money back.
And buy warm socks because your feet do get coldest. So temperature is not a problem. You just gotta know how to work around it. Yeah. Heat is a little more complicated, but
I just don't hang out in my car if it's too hot. Like if I'm like they have air conditioning, I'm down.
Is it uncomfortable living in a car?
At first, yeah, because it's hard to get used to, but I think after a while, it's not really that uncomfortable.
And I think it depends on what kind of car you live in, because I live in my little tiny Camaro, so if you're like some big, tall, like 7-foot person, I can like...
You wouldn't even fit.
I mean, what are you thinking? But for me, I'm like this tiny person, so my car is comfortable, and you find ways to make it work. Where do you park to sleep? My favorite places, or my easiest places, are either hotels, Walmart parking lots, or residential areas, as long as you're not blocking somebody's like, driveway or something, obviously.
And for residential areas, I would say like the biggest thing for me is to like get there after the sun goes down, and then leave like pretty much when the sun comes up. Yeah, and don't park in the same place all of the time. Like especially if you're gonna park on a residential area, like, you know, just even if you have to just go to the next street over on a block, but like
unless
people
it's like
are gonna notice,
side street or something, like just be smart.
My personal favorite is hotel parking lots, because there's usually a lot of cars, they're really well lit, and there's people coming and going at like all hours of the night. So, and they like have luggage and stuff like in their car, you know, so it's like if you have stuff in your car, you look normal. So that's why I like them. Honestly, just wherever you feel safe, whatever looks safe, wherever you're comfortable as you can
Follow
be.
Your instinct.
Definitely. Just like if it seems super sketchy, that's probably because it is super sketchy. Don't sleep there. But
my favorite is Walmart, because like they're 24 hours, so if something, and there's lights all throughout the parking lot, so if something does go down, like it's not that far to run to get help, or
I do like Walmart's because the ones that are like open 24 hours, like you can go to the bathroom. You can just like run in and like go to the
bathroom access. That's what you need. Have you had any scary experiences?
I don't think so.
I can't think of any either.
Like nothing.
The news is a lie to you. It's not as bad as the news makes it seem.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I mean, I think that, you obviously have to take some precautions, but it's not that bad. I haven't had anything.
I think my scariest experience was like if I had to pull over to a shoulder and like an 18-wheeler passes by, because they shake your car.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Like,
you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. There was once where I parked on a residential area and the cop like knocked on my window. I was like, hey. And I was just like, oh, I actually live like right down the street. I was just really tired because it was like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, I just pulled over because I'm like really tired, and they're like, okay, well, just. I was like, okay, but that wasn't really scary because it was more of like.
I think that's it. Just like cops knocking on the window
Yeah.
is pretty much the scariest thing because you're just like, will they make me leave, or is it cool, or will I get a ticket? What do you do to make the car feel home-like?
Be as organized as possible, and to be honest, get rid of as much stuff as possible. Because like for me, it didn't start to feel like someplace I actually lived until I emptied out my car and I had space to actually like breathe. Because at first I took all my stuff and piled it in, like filled up the back seat as much as I could, and
Which
like
is
I didn't.
how my car is
Yeah, I was like
right
I
now.
didn't want to get rid of anything, but then it just felt really cramped, and I couldn't find anything. And then I realized I don't even need half this stuff anyways. So eventually, once I got rid of it, and I could have like, okay, behind my driver's seat on the floor is this, behind my passenger seat on the floor is this specific thing, and like in the trunk is this. So it was like once it was
simplistic
organized,
living.
yeah, once it was organized, and I could like real quick be like, I know where everything is. That is when it felt like home.
That when I chose to move into my car, just like letting go, like you can have my TV, you can have this, you can have this. That was like the most like,
it's so cleansing.
it just takes all the weight off your shoulders because you're like, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. Would you rather sleep in a tent or in your car?
I would rather sleep in my car, metal or fabric. Like,
I think it's like 50-50 because I have a lot of clothes in my car because that's what I haven't been able to get rid of. But so like my clothes are super comfortable. It's almost like a bed in my car. So I do enjoy that. But at the same time, I do like when I'm camping or something to just sleep in my tent and just like take off the top of my tent and just have
that's
the
true.
fabric and just like chill and breathe the night air or look up at the stars or something.
It is really nice to sleep in a tent. But I also get really scared of like animals. It's like the likelihood of that, or the chances of that happening, it's very, it's probably not gonna happen. I'm just like
not at
paranoid.
all,
But yeah, like if I'm somewhere where it's like nice weather and you can see the stars and stuff, then yeah, definitely I would probably prefer to sleep in a tent. Just in case.
It's just a preference thing, I guess. Like you could prefer because you have a van, so you can like fully like lay down and rest out. I have a little tiny car. Did you name your van?
I just call it the hobo van. It doesn't really have. I kind of want to give it like a human name, but I haven't yet.
My car's named Blue. I don't know why. Just so I could be like, you my boy Blue, but that's like basically the only reason.
That's a good reason.
I just like it. My car's not even blue, it's like green. How many miles have you put on to your van?
On my van?
Or like taking your journey so far, how many miles have you acquired?
I have no idea. A lot, because
it's in the thousands.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely already.
Well, because you've been doing it for like a month and a half, and you've already traveled pretty far. Yeah, and for me, like sometimes I'll go like just within like a 4-day weekend, I'll do like 3,000 miles. But that's what I'm saying. So like I really don't know, because a lot of the trips that I do are that.
And then also because you like will head in one direction and then you'll see something and you're like, oh my god, that looks cool. So then you'll add like 500 more miles just because something looked really cool. And I would say that's far enough.
But the cool thing is like what we talked about earlier, like with the gas, like you can control how far you go, how many miles you go. So it kind of just depends. It's another personal preference thing.
What's your craziest experience so far?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I guess just like meeting people. Our ghetto tripod failed. No, it's still recording though.
Take two.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think the craziest stuff is just like the cool people that I meet. Because it's like people that I would never meet. Like you, for example. Like I would, if I didn't like live in a car. Yeah. No big deal.
Cool.
Totally safe. But yeah, I think it's just the people.
How do you shower?
I have a shower that I made out of a weed pressurizer, and I attached like a sink nozzle to it. There's lots of like other people who
which she has a video too on her channel.
I do about how I did it, and I use that, and then I go to like the gym a lot to rock climb, and they have showers there, and then you know some people let us stay at their house, and then there's showers here.
And then if you don't have that, in my little Camaro would usually like the easiest place is a truck stop, because truck stops most of them have showers because for all the truck drivers to get a little clean in.
For truck stops, I've been told like quite a bit actually, that most of like the truckers, they get like a card that has like showers on it, or like I don't know if it's shower specifically or like a certain amount of money, but like they don't use it all. So like if you go to a truck stop and you kind of like, you know, just be nice and like ask around, usually there's a trucker that will just be like, yeah, I'm not going to use this anyway.
Nice,
so you can
cool.
just, yeah, that's what,
Make friends.
I don't know, that's what some people told me.
What are the items you couldn't live without while living in a car?
Baby wipes.
Yes. Yes.
I would say water bottles too.
Yes. Water. Oh my
Like,
God.
or just having extra water.
I
at
cannot
least.
stress the importance of water while you're traveling, because you do not know when or where you'll get your next water supply at.
Yeah, for sure. There's always water.
Staying hydrated is
Yeah.
important. You don't know, because either you'll need it or your car will need it. Either or. My thing is like the basics for a car. If you're gonna live in your car, is the basics for your car, like jumper cables. Make sure you have water in case your car overheats. Like basic things that they don't teach you about cars. Just like Google it and learn about those, and always have those, because they can be complete lifesavers. Be prepared for yourself.
For sure.
How do you deal with money?
Well, right now, since I'm not like consistently traveling, I have like regular jobs.
Saving up.
Yeah.
Smart.
But as far as like when I'm on the road, like I worked at a national park, and then yeah, I guess like for the future it's just gonna be freelancing stuff, like online. A lot of what it is like data entry. So it's kind of like a regular job. You just do it online and you only communicate through like phone calls and emails. So it's kind of cool.
And then if you don't want to work, it's just save up. It's not
Yeah.
that hard. If you like minimize how much you go out to eat and like buying all this unnecessary stuff for your life, you can save a lot of money. You don't need the new phone as soon as it comes out and all this nonsense. Like, saving up is pretty easy, and then it's not that expensive to travel. Like gas, I would say, is probably the most expensive thing that I've come across, because that's a consistent thing that you need to keep getting. But other than that, no, you can choose how much you spend. You can choose whether you want to go out or whether you want to just buy canned foods and keep them in your car. And yeah, that's it. How do you stay safe as a young female on your own in America?
In America. It kind of just goes back to the like trust your instincts thing, like just be smart, you know? Anytime I'm gonna go to a new city, like I'll look up the like crime rate and like, you know, all that stuff, like what goes down, just so you know.
Mhm.
But then in reality, it just comes down to like being mindful of your surroundings, like being well educated, you know, learning some self-defense, carrying anything, you know, depends on like who you are, but you can have like pepper spray, a taser, a bat, a gun, you know, and there's all kinds of things you can do. And it's really just you know, just trust yourself. You're smart, you know what I mean?
And then the longer you do it, the more you just know and
Yeah.
learn to trust your instinct. So what is the hardest and or easiest about living in your car?
That's the hardest part. I like how I can ask you these questions. I'm like, I don't even know. Well, for a long time, I thought it was just like what other people would think. I thought that was like the hardest. Like being able to tell people and not have them think that
You're
I was
crazy.
like, yeah, like either crazy or just like
Naive
not
and
a
stupid
contributing
and-
member of society kind of thing. It's like just because you move into a car doesn't make you
Any
stupid.
less.
It doesn't make you less of a person. It just makes you you're on a different path. You're just living a different lifestyle.
Living life, yeah, a different
Like you're just
way.
doing something different. So it's like, I don't know. That was probably in the beginning, I would say, the hardest thing. And then now it would probably just be like, honestly for me, I'm kind of like a big baby about the heat. So when it gets really hot, I'm just like, ugh.
dying and you're
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
oh my
why?
God.
I'm so miserable. I'm like, I wish I had an air conditioner.
My hardest part is that my radio keeps breaking. And so I'm just like,
But see, it's like at the end of the day, I feel like if that's my biggest problem in life, like
Then
I'm
it's not
chilling.
bad.
Yeah, it's like my biggest problem is that it's too hot.
and then the easiest
Okay.
thing is definitely meeting people and making friends, and then being introduced to a whole world of stuff that you might be completely opposite of, or you might be the same as, but it's just,
Different opportunities.
why did you start? What made you decide that this is my life?
It kind of started as like a temporary thing. I just wanted to save money just so I could have more money. Because I was working, regular jobs. I was working 2 jobs actually, so I was making a decent amount, but I just didn't like the fact that I was paying for a place that I was never in. Like, I was never even there, because I was busy working. So I was like, this is stupid. Like, I could easily afford it, or, well, not easily, but it was manageable, you know what I mean? But it's like, it just didn't make sense to me. So that's why I was like, well, I'm gonna try living in my car, see what's up, whatever. And then I moved into my car, I started traveling, and then I met other people who did it, and I kind of was like, hey, I kind of want to do this, like, long-term type of thing. Because then once I went traveling, I was like, oh wow, this is something I want to do. Like, I think it's really cool.
It's fun. You get to meet people. You get out of that little bubble that everyone seems to be in all the time.
Yeah, it's what made me feel like I was living a real life instead of just like doing what I was supposed to do because I was supposed to do it by who knows who said it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that stuff is cool, I respect anyone who's happy like that, because I think, like, hey, if you're happy, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't for me.
The main goal in life is just to chase your happiness. You do you.
But then there's some of us
stuck in that bubble of like,
yeah.
And like, maybe I will one day when I'm older, but I just feel like for now,
I
need
definitely
to
for
make
now.
Stupid decisions and just go and get out there.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like, honestly, I don't see myself like being 60 and living in my 2001 Dodge Ram. Like, I really don't. Don't really see that for myself. Don't know what I see for myself when I'm 60, but I don't think I'll still be living
like,
in a
I wouldn't
van.
call it a phase, but it's definitely something that everyone should just experience for their life.
Yeah, it's like, it's something I want to try, and I want to embrace it wholeheartedly, and I still keep in mind the future, but I definitely just want to try this for now.
Because I've noticed since I've started doing it is like, I've been more polite to people. I can just like more easily associate with people, have conversations, because like, what else are you gonna do? You're in a completely different city, you're by yourself, so
you're like almost forced to.
Yeah, like, why not just go to a bar or just something and be like, hey, what's there to do here? Like, anything to start conversation. It really breaks people out of their bubble, and that's one of my favorite parts about it. Any advice that you would give to people who are gonna start this or are gonna attempt it, girl or guy, what would you say?
Just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, I would say. Like, I don't even know what a wrong reason would be necessarily, but like, if you're gonna do it, just make sure you're happy doing it. Like, if you could try it, and then if after a while, like, you just are like, no, this isn't for me, like, that's totally okay.
Yeah, if
you're
not
like,
feeling it, just...
But also, like, don't give up, because it's like, if you're trying this, you're obviously looking for something different. And if this didn't work for you, it's totally fine, but like, so maybe you should try something else. Like, just because this doesn't work doesn't mean it's over. Like, there's so many options.
You don't have to get stuck in that regular 9-to-5 routine. Experience life, do something, travel, go across the country, whatever is right for you. And then if you don't like any of it, then just quit. Go back to your 9-to-5 job. At least you can say you did it. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Alright, well then that
Good luck.
Is it for my video. Bye guys.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, it's like
2:53.
It's basically 3 in the morning. And this is what we do with our lives.
Yeah.
So
we literally, I don't know how much time we spend doing this, but I'm over it.